I tried to do screenshots and whatnots on my computer, but I suck at it. Well, I don't really suck at it. The thing's just too freaking slow. But as you can see here, this was the news yesterday now. But yeah, we'll be out of Europe on March 29th, 2019. Article 50 will be triggered next week, Wednesday. So Brexit is happening, children. It's happening. No matter how much Nicola Sturgeon fights against it, Brexit is happening. And she's stopping that fight and instead starting another one. 2 years ago, three years ago, we had the Scottish referendum for independence. And at the time, it was a no vote. Now Brexit happened. Nicola Sturgeon ain't happy with that no vote. So before the Brexit can even, before we can even start the process, almost immediately after the vote was done, she wanted to have another referendum. Could we clear one political problem, one political issue, before starting up another one? Downing Street announces Article 50 process will be triggered next Wednesday. Means Theresa May has kept to her promise of beginning Brexit by end of March. Well, that's the funny thing about politicians these days. They're actually sticking to their promises. At least on the more conservative side. The PM will make a statement to the Commons after a letter handed to European Council. Downing Street flatly denies that there will be a general election before 2020. So yeah. The formal 2-year process of leaving the EU will be triggered on Wednesday next week. And all of the papers are calling it a divorce. Guess it kind of is. We're leaving our partner due to irreconcilable differences, I guess. The time frame is for 2 years, and already there's issues. There's Nicola Sturgeon up in Scotland, where I am, trying to have another referendum for Scottish independence, just to stay in the EU, really. Welsh nationalists are also jumping on the bandwagon to demand concessions and new powers from Westminster, which is fair enough. But don't break it up. Don't break up the country entirely. I mean, it's called the United Kingdom because it's united as one kingdom. It's 4 countries, but it's united under one kingdom. Come on. Jeremy Corbyn has not ordered his MPs to back Article 50, but then he's been going insane lately anyway. I mean, shortly after the Brexit happened, and people were worried about the economy and their jobs and whatnot, and he's wanting to ban the sale of all new petrol cars, which will destroy and completely remove and eliminate hundreds of thousands of jobs. Smart move, man. I like Gordon Brown's ideas, though, as far as Brexit goes. He presented a fairly good plan, but would need crazy Corbyn to go along with it, unfortunately. Gordon Brown pushes for a third option for Scotland after Brexit and calls for fisheries, farming, and welfare powers to be handed to Holyrood. It makes sense, because a lot of those, fisheries and farming, a lot of it would be in Scotland. A lot of the fisheries, definitely the fisheries, because it's mostly coast. Pretty much all of this highly populated Scottish towns are coastal towns and are fishing towns. I mean, I live in a fishing town. We have our own type of fish. It's called a smoky. And farming, I pass about 20 farm plots on my way to work on the bus. So yeah, he wants essentially fisheries, farming, and welfare powers to Holyrood, while Westminster keeps control of defense, which is an important thing. And these are the words out of his mouth. The world has changed, but not the way the SNP want it to be. That's the Scottish National Party, the ones that are screaming for another referendum for independence. The world has changed, and we have to face up to post-Brexit realities. It doesn't make the case for independence stronger, it makes it weaker. Which, yeah, is true. If you break up the country that's already splitting off from the United States of Europe, because that's what it is, what do you have to bring to the table? Not as much as you think, Sturgeon, not as much as you think. He called for a popular sovereignty, which rather than state sovereignty gives people the opportunity to make decisions in an interconnected world. Yeah. He should not be erecting a barrier that would put us out of both the EU single market and the UK single market, which the UK, yeah, it's fairly small in comparison to other superpowers, but it's still pretty damn big. I mean, hell, it takes me, if I go by train, 5 hours to get from Perth to my family down in Liverpool. 5 hours on a train. That's a long damn time. 2 hours on a plane from Aberdeen to London. And I ain't just talking about taxiing on the runway or sitting and wait. I'm talking about flying, the actual flight. So it's not that small. It's smaller than other countries, but it's not that small. The former Prime Minister said a new form of federal home rule could solve the division between Holyrood and Westminster. And he's put it to Nicola Sturgeon. She seems somewhat accepting, I think. The problem is, you got to get it past Crazy Corbyn. Yeah. He's killing the Labour Party, and I think the only way Gordon Brown's ideas will work is if Labour finally says, you know what? You've killed our popularity, just get out. And I think that might be what's going to happen with him, because every time he opens his mouth, you go, what the hell did you just say? So that happened. And also in the news today, what drew me to this particular paper was the headline. I'm like, what? Seriously, what? You're not gonna believe this one. Fat shamed by the family GP. Doctors to warn patients they are overweight during routine surgery visits, and they could even send them to slimming class. Now, look at him. My doctor's been warning me I've been overweight for years. It's just what doctors are supposed to do. 'Cause doctors, believe it or not, are in the business of trying to keep you alive, 'cause the longer you live, the more money they make. That's their job. So it may hurt your precious, delicate little fifis to tell you that, yeah, if the scale can no longer tell you how much you weigh, because the numbers don't go that high, you need to start bringing that number down. I mean, seriously, it ain't fat shaming. It's concern for your health, because your health is their dollar, or pound in this case. On the actual website here, don't be polite, just tell fat patients to take slimming classes. And doctors could double rates of weight loss by recommending Weight Watchers research shows. And yeah, doctors are getting afraid of telling people that you might want to lose a couple pounds just because of the whole fat acceptance movement that I don't accept. And nobody should, really. I mean, as I said, they're in the business of keeping you alive because the longer you live, the more money they get out of you by providing health care. That's the business. And if people just start dying, they're out of a job. Honestly, it's called morbidly obese for a reason. Do you people not understand what the word morbid means? It means there's a very, very, very high chance that you're gonna drop dead if you don't work the fat off your ass. And the fact that the newspapers had fat shaming in the headline, hashtag triggered. I mean, we shouldn't have those types of headlines. But the world has gone that far to the left that anything that hurts your fifis, your delicate, tender little fifis, but doesn't kill you, doesn't physically harm you, and might actually improve your health in your life expectancy. If it's the least bit offensive, you gotta get rid of it. Here's the deal. If your doctor looks uncomfortable when talking to you about a health issue that you may have, don't get offended. Just do what your doctor tells you. Like I said, the whole health business is to keep you alive for as long as possible. Because the longer you live, the more money they make. That's just the way it goes. Don't get offended. That's the one person who's supposed to be able to tell you those things without you getting offended. Because, yeah, it is actual concern for your health. Because if your health fails and you die, they're out of a job. It ain't shaming. It's just advice. Instead of saying, oh, the doctor hurt my fifis. And instead of saying, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Even though he went through about 10 years of medical school and internships and research and all the shit a doctor has to go through in order to be able to tell you this shit, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He just has a decade of experience. Instead of getting offended, just do what the doctor tells you and work the fat off your ass, you fat fuck. And yeah, I can say this because I am a fat fuck. I am this close to obese myself. Not morbid, thank God, but obese. I listen to my doctor. Listen to yours and stop crying about it. You don't have to tell nobody else what the doctor told you. Hell, for the most part, we can look at you and tell you and know what the doctor told you. I mean, if I see you walking down the road, look at you for half a second and think, your blood type must be butter. I know your doctor told you that you need to lose weight. There was a conversation I heard while waiting at the bus station to get to work. And before anybody complains about me not walking, my job is in a different town, okay? Well, a conversation I heard while waiting at the bus station. 2 fat bitches. One fat bitch says to the other fat bitch, I think I need to lose a bit of weight. Other fat bitch tells the first fat bitch, oh, you don't need to lose any weight. You look perfectly fine. She made 2 of me. Don't lie to the bitch. Do not lie. And that's the problem. That's where this whole fat shaming shit came from. People lying to fat bitches to make them feel better. You know how fat bitches will feel better, me included, is if you go gently. Yeah, you may be able to shed a few pounds. Here's some advice on how to do so. This exercise really helped me. Maybe we could go to the gym together. Because I could stand to lose a few myself. That'll really help. Just make sure that people actually feel good about getting healthy, about losing weight. Because, to be honest, if you got a cake shelf, not a muffin top, a cake shelf, if you got a spare tire, you're not healthy. And people need to stop lying about it. I could pinch a couple inches myself. I'm working on it. I have one of them stretchy body sculpting elastic band thingies in my room. I do as many exercises as I can think up with that thing. I do my core exercises that I learned in Pilates. Because yes, I had to take Pilates at one point, because I've got a bad back. Combination of flexibility and fat. You get too fat, your joints complain. And if you happen to have very flexible joints, as my yoga instructor told me back when I was 19, they wear down a lot faster than stiff joints. So yeah, I'm having to deal with a double whammy. And if I lose the weight, the pressure would be off of my weakened joints that were weakened due to the flexibility. So I feel better all around. I'll be able to sit and bend without making noises like that last one I just did. I'll be able to drop and get back up as fast as I went down. Because the hard part about being fat is when you go down, you can't get back up again. And next time I see my nephews back home or down in Liverpool, I can actually play with them for more than 5 minutes without needing to sit down. I can get into all of them nice, cute clothes that I wanted to. 'Cause the smaller you are, the cuter the clothes. And as I said in my first and last video complaining about the whole fat shaming movement, I know full well that I will never be a size 10. My bone structure will not allow it. But I'll get as close as I damn well can. And that just happens to be a size 12. 12 US, 14 UK. As I said, don't get offended when the doctor tells you to try to lose a little weight. Just listen to what he tells you, take his advice, and go do the thing. You'll feel a hell of a lot better afterwards. Me, I'm watching my weight. It's going down very slowly, but it's going down. Yeah. Fat shaming at the GP. Honestly. Well, that's today's rambling rant, and it's again a stream of consciousness, so yeah, it's gonna be shit quality. But I figured I might as well put something out. And I went to karaoke last night, and there was no prize. But it was fun because I actually got to sing a shit ton of songs this time because there wasn't anybody there, which means I had more chances to do it. I highly enjoy myself when I go. I wish more people would tag along, if only for my entertainment. Because some of them, when they get up and do the thing, it's funny. Some of them are really good, but a lot of them, it's just funny. Yeah, there's one guy who does a song called Lily the Pink, It's basically a drinking song. It's entertaining. It would be entertaining if he had a. It would be entertaining even if he had a better voice. But it's a fun song. I recommend going out and singing that one. So I am going to go back to my Sims game, which is preventing me from doing this on a screenshot because my computer is going too slow. What with all of the shit I got on it. And I'm gonna get out of this bathrobe because it's hot as fuck. Good night, children.